Are you looking for inspirational resources for primary modern foreign languages? Well, today on Resource Review, we'll be evaluating 3 for a variety of languages that might just fit the bill. A multimedia starter pack.
On voudrait 2 places, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, quel âge as-tu?
J'ai 11 ans.
Et toi?
2 CD-ROMs of fairy tales.
You can see we've got 4 stories on the CD-ROM. Does anybody guess what this story might be?
And 2 animated websites. Find out what our panel of experts think here on Resource Review. Joining me to recommend today's resources is Barbara Nielsen, Primary Languages Consultant for Nottinghamshire. Joining Barbara, we have Judy Hawker from Brighton and Hove Primary Languages Advisory Service. Judy also teaches at Whistledown Primary School. And also on the panel, we have Adam Cook, Modern Foreign Languages Advisor for Norfolk Local Authority. Thank you all very much for coming. It's great to see you. So Barbara, let's begin with the Early Start French Multimedia Starter Pack. Tell us a bit more about the resource and why you like it.
Well, basically, I like this resource because it is exactly what it says it is. It's a starter pack. So for a teacher who has very little knowledge of the language or experience in teaching it, it really sort of takes them by the hand and gives them what they need. It comes with a video or DVD which presents little snippets of language in a cultural background actually filmed in France. And the teacher's book here goes through giving very, very good indications of activities that can be done. So it really does give the novice teacher a good support.
Okay, great. And it does come in other languages, is that right?
Yes, there are, for French, German and Spanish, there are 2 parts. So there's an initial stage and then a second follow-up pack.
All right, well, we're going to focus on the French pack and have a look at it in use in the classroom. We visited a group of budding linguists at Langham School, and Maureen Game is teaching months of the year.
The resource we used today was Early Start French. The resource is a multimedia resource, so it's a DVD as well as a loose binder which gives lots of activities as well as photocopyable sheets. Started off by watching the DVD. From there we've used an activity as well after we've watched the DVD, focusing on months of the year, and then we've done an activity on the board for them to remember what the days of the month are and which order they come in. And then we've played a game of Snap.
Juin.
Très bien. One of its strengths is the multimedia part of it. You've got engaging different learners. You've got the kinesthetic learners, the ones who like to have a look and actually do. You've got the auditory learners, so they can listen, as well as the visual learners who can actually see what's going on.
Janvier.
Think of any weaknesses to the resource. Certainly like to have the French-speaking children. Also shows the children what life is like in France. I think it is good value for money. If you compare it with other CDs, DVDs, they're an expensive resource, but everything is in the pack, and I think certainly you could use it for a whole year and get value for money.
Well, Barbara, a very favourable review there from the teacher. But is it really safe to recommend that a primary teacher focus on just one resource? Can it really be that good?
Well, yes, it is good, but I wouldn't say that you'd use just that as a one and only resource. I think a teacher starting out needs something that they know is going to give them a good foundation, and I think this is it. But I think with experience, a teacher would want to supplement anyway.
One of the nice things I liked about it, it was all filmed in France. It was about really authentic French life. When it's looking at other languages, are they similarly authentic?
Yes, they're all filmed in the target language country.
Great.
And that's one of the main features, is that the children actually get to see their counterparts going into a school, for instance.
OK, thank you very much. Judy, are you a fan of this resource?
Very much so. I think it's a super resource. The whole enthusiasm from it, from the singing, from the DVD, is just, and there's excellent worksheets in there as well.
So any drawbacks to it?
Yes, as Barbara said, I think you wouldn't want to stop there. But I think as a start for everybody to be going, it's an excellent resource.
Well, wonderful. Adam, would you agree with these general, very favourable reviews?
Yeah, my reaction to it is as positive, really. I think it's super, and I like the fact that you've got the video materials, that you've got real French kids presenting real French. A lot of the people that will be using this may be non-specialists, and they may be very conscious of the fact that their French is not that great, their spoken Spanish may not be that good, or their German may not be that good. So they can rely on the kids in the video to actually present and model those correct sounds and that correct pronunciation, and the kids can then just copy it. And it fits in very nicely, and I think we should make this point, with the Key Stage 2 MFL framework, which has recently just come out and will be used in schools as from now on, so it complements that beautifully.
I think also another big plus about it is the way the activities are laid out. There's every possible activity suggestion that you could want for a non-linguist.
And then, of course, there's the online support as well, and they have sort of cultural background information available online, which the teacher could present, or send some children out to find for themselves.
Well, thanks all very much. A great start to the programme with a popular resource there. Now let's move on to Barbara's second choice, which are 2 CD-ROMs. We're going to focus on Little Tales of the Unexpected. So, Barbara, tell us more about this and why you like it.
This is basically ICT-based material, which is the Little Tales of the Unexpected, which is what it says it is. They are fairy tales, but with an unexpected twist at the end. I like the ideas presented in it. It uses all 4 skill areas. It develops all 4 skill areas: reading, writing, listening and speaking. It's in a very appealing format. The little characters are very visually appealing, and the way it's set out is appealing, easily accessible to a child.
Well, thank you very much. Before we ask our panel what they think, let's have a look at Little Tales of the Unexpected in use in the classroom. We visited Cardwell Primary School in Woolwich, where teacher Samantha Smythe and her Year 5 class are using it.
I've been using a resource which is called Little Tales of the Unexpected, which is a CD-ROM containing 4 traditional tales told in French. As you can see, we've got 4 stories on the CD-ROM. Does anybody guess what this story might be? There's The Frog Prince, Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. We looked at a little bit of the story, which is asking about the Beast, what colour are his eyes, and there are other characters on there and it asks what colour are their eyes, and then that leads us on to some work on colour. So we've got to listen to the words and then match it to what it looks like written down. So let's go. Danny? Bleu? Oui ou non? No, très bien, no. A lot of it is interactive and the children can use it with the whiteboard, coming up and clicking on and dragging on various answers. There's a little animated character who jumps up and down when they get the answers right. And they really enjoy joining in with the lesson rather than just having me at the front. They're stories that most of the children know, so they can predict what the vocabulary might be. It moves from recognising the words orally to seeing them written down in print to spelling the words. Who thinks they could come and spell it? Bleu. Spell bleu. Harrison. There are a few weak points in terms of the design of it, which I thought could be worked upon. When you get a question wrong, the little character, animated character, appears on the screen, folds their arm, looks cross and stamps their foot. And to me, the first time I got one wrong when I was trying it, I found really sort of small and intimidated by that and not at all encouraged to have another go. I think this would be an ideal resource for teachers who don't have any specialist language knowledge. It's very, very well structured. All of the commands and the instructions are in English, so you could come in with no language experience at all and still run this and still get an awful lot out of it and learn yourself at the same time as the children.
Well, Barbara, an overall positive review there, but relatively expensive for what you get, I would say.
It is fairly expensive, and I think people would have to think very carefully about how they're going to use it and whether they get their value for money from it. However, you could have a demo version, try it out, see if it is for you. And for some people, it'll be an ideal resource if it fits in with their scheme of work.
OK. And Adam, what did you think of Little Tales of the Unexpected?
I like the whole concept of this quite surreal and wacky package for young children, because it's not patronising, and it is turning modern day fairy tales on their head and presenting them in a slightly surreal way, and I like that.
So Judy, would you agree?
Well, like Adam, I feel that the wackiness of the whole package is great, and I particularly like the stories in themselves, and the way in which the language is quite challenging, and I think there's an awful lot of scope for development.
I mean, I think fairy tales with a twist would be a great idea to actually use later on at Key Stage 3, where kids, in a very structured way, would be able to do some creative writing, again, in a very structured way, but, add a little twist to the fairy tale.
Yes, I agree.
What about the cost? I mean, the primary school you work in, would that be accessible?
Well, I must admit I did consider buying it last year and didn't, and I think it was probably because of the cost, and wondering how much one would actually be able to use it. You've got 4 tales, and I see the value in the tales perhaps more than the exploitation, but a non-specialist linguist might not feel that.
OK, well, thank you very much. Now let's move on to Barbara's third choice of resource, and it's 2 animated websites from the BBC, the Spanish and French primary sites. These are free, so that's something to recommend it for a start. But apart from that, what do you like about them?
Well, the prime thing is that they're free, they're easily accessible to children at school and at home. And also teachers at home who want to brush up on their own language, they can go and practice first before they use the resource with their classes. And it really has everything. It covers the basic sort of topic areas that most people start with. And it provides little video clips, it has games, it has songs, it has cultural background, it has worksheets that you can print out, game resources you can print out, notes for teachers, notes for parents.
I mean, it sounds like there's an awful lot there.
There is.
Is a non-specialist teacher going to be a bit overwhelmed by it?
Not really, because it's very well packaged. I mean, everything is easily recognised. At teachers' notes, you click on teachers' notes, you have teachers' notes. Which section do you want? You go to that section. So it's not overwhelming, it's easily accessible.
Adam, what are your thoughts on the BBC site?
I like it, and it's free as well, which makes it even more attractive.
Do you think it's equally good for both languages?
I think so, yes. I first looked at the French site and I was very impressed with that in the way that each unit is based around a communicative question, such as what's your name, how old are you, and you've got the voices of real French speakers, French kids, and so you can hear them and reproduce those sounds. So yeah, I like it. Good.
I have to say I found the Spanish site even better, because I think it's very animated, and I enjoyed the games that are on offer, which you can play either singly or in pairs or as a group, and it's using sort of keyboard skills to move and get onto vocabulary, which I think children really enjoy. It's very akin to video games, so I think that
sounds quite fun.
It is fun, yes.
Fun.
OK, well, thank you all very much. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today. But to recap, the 3 resources that we've looked at were Early Start French Multimedia Pack from Early Start Languages Limited, The Little Tales of the Unexpected CD-ROMs from Bilingua, and finally, the BBC Spanish and French primary websites. For more information about all of the resources that we've talked about today, and to post your own comments about other resources for primary modern foreign languages, go to our website. It's teachers.tv/resource review. Or if you want to email us, resourcereview@teachers.tv. So I'd like to say a very big thank you to our panel, to Barbara, to Judy and to Adam. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Resource Review.